And a very, very pleasant good evening, everybody. This is Scott Manning coming to you live from Scott Manning YouTube Sports Talk. It is now time for the weekend kickoff show. I am so glad to have you guys with me here this evening. We have a lot to talk about here about the next half hour or so. The White Sox face the Rays in a very important matchup tonight, starting a 3-game set out down in Tampa. Also, too, the Dodgers play the Mets this time out at Dodger Stadium. The NFL is in full swing. The College Football All-American team has been released. I will have that for you this evening. And I will also talk some motor racing later this evening. And also tonight during the show, there will be a song break to give you guys a chance to get up and boogie and get ready and get down. We're going to have some fun with that tonight. But let's go ahead and jump right into the show right after this.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sport.
I am so glad to have you guys here with you this evening. We have a lot to talk about, so we're just going to go ahead and just jump right into the show. The Tampa Bay Rays and the Chicago White Sox have a very, very important 3-game set starting this weekend. It starts tonight in less than an hour. Keep in mind, this is a 3-game set. The opening game tonight will be on the MLB Network. I'm looking forward to this. And then they're going to be right back on Sunday afternoon on TBS. Very funny. I shouldn't do that. I'm sorry. But anyway. For the Chicago White Sox tonight, Lucas Giolito will be going tonight. He has a 9-9 record with a 3.63 ERA and 161 strikeouts. For the Tampa Bay Rays, the Rays send Michael Wacha to the mound tonight. He has a 2-4 record with a 5.91 ERA and 76 strikeouts. The Saturday matchup, and this is kind of an interesting one. Dallas Keuchel will go to the mound for the White Sox. He has an 8-6 record with a 4.48 ERA and 79 strikeouts to his credit. Luis Patino will be going for the Rays on Saturday. He has a 2-3 record with a 4.73 ERA and 48 Ks to his credit. On Sunday, this is a Sunday matchup, and this is a special main event edition on TBS. For the Chicago White Sox, Reynaldo Lopez will be going to the mound. He has a 2-0 record with a 1.08 ERA and 26 strikeouts to his credit. And the Tampa Bay Rays will be sending Drew Rasmussen to the mound. He has a 1-0 record with a 3.30 ERA and 32 strikeouts to his credit. I find this matchup interesting for a lot of reasons. This is a battle of two division leaders coming down the stretch. And let's think about this for a minute. The team ERA for the Chicago White Sox is 3.60. The team ERA for the Tampa Bay Rays is 3.73. Very evenly matched. A little bit of the tail of the tape on the pitching end of it. But on the hitting end of it, it's an interesting one. I got four of the best batters from each team. And this is their batting averages. For the Chicago White Sox, Tim Anderson, he's hitting 300 right now. Jose Abreu, 252. Jan Moncada, 254. Andrew Vaughn, he's hitting 263 right now, and the team batting average for the White Sox is 251. That is what I find interesting about this. But the Tampa Bay Rays, Austin Meadows, he's hitting 232. Randy Arozarena, he's hitting 280. Brandon Lowe, he's hitting 236 right now. And Yandy Diaz, He's hitting 251, and the team batting average for the Rays is 238. Just a few things to keep in mind going into this 3-game set between the AL Central leading Chicago White Sox and the AL East leading Tampa Bay Rays. Can the Rays hold on? Can the Rays at least take 2 out of 3? Because you got to remember, too, the Rays have the Yankees right on their tail. And the Yankees, I think the Yankees, if they get swept if the White Sox sweep the Rays and the Yankees get the sweep of their series this weekend, I think the Yankees can catch them. And I'm going to talk about the Yankees here in a little bit because I got a few other things I want to talk about. But this weekend matchup is a big one. And you're finding out why firsthand. And the truth is this. Everybody knows how crazy this 3-game set between Chicago and Tampa Bay is going to be. It's so big tonight, it's the opening game. We got a doubleheader tonight on the MLB network. White Sox Rays at 7, Mets Dodgers at 10 o'clock out on the West Coast. And I'm going to talk about the Mets and Dodgers, speaking of them. I haven't forgot about them either at all. All right. And speaking of the Mets Dodgers, last night the Dodgers got a 4-1 victory. The Mets find themselves under 500, 5 games back in the National League East, behind the Braves and the Phillies. The team ERA right now for the Dodgers is 3.77. In the last 7 days, it's been 4.44, just to give you an idea. But this weekend, the Mets, they got to get a sweep just to have any chance. They got to take the next 3 just to have any chance to get back into this thing. Tonight, the New York Mets send Carlos Carrasco to the mound. An 0-1 record with a 10.32 ERA and 12 strikeouts to his credit. Oh boy. Now, the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight are going to be sending Walker Buehler to the mound. He has a 12-2 record with a 2.09 ERA and 162 strikeouts to his credit. Don't sleep on Walker Buehler as a possible NL Cy Young. And I'm going to address that in a minute. The Saturday matchup, Rich Hill goes to the mound. He has an 0-0 record. I know it's kind of odd, but I'm going by my notes here, what I've seen. He has a 4.96 ERA and only 14 strikeouts to his credit. And who will Hill be facing on Sunday? Well, it's none other than Max Scherzer. In his short time in LA, Scherzer has a 2-0 record with a 2.20 ERA and 23 strikeouts. And for the season, he has a 10-4 record with a 2.69 ERA and 170 strikeouts to his credit. There's another possible MVP candidate right there. Or at least a Cy Young. And on Sunday afternoon, this game is not a main event on Sunday night, believe it or not. I'm going to address that in a minute. On Sunday afternoon. Sorry for getting a little ahead of myself there. Marcus Stroman goes to the mound. He has an 8-12 record, but he has a 2.54 ERA and 123 strikeouts to his credit. And who are the Dodgers sending to the hill on Sunday? Well, it's none other than David Price. He has a 4-1 record with 1 hold, 2 saves, a 3.62 ERA, and 50 strikeouts to his credit. Since July 27th, the Los Angeles Dodgers are now 15-5, counting last night's win. And they are closing the gap in the National League West. The Giants have had some struggles. Yes, the Giants have had some struggles. However, the Dodgers are going to get in the playoffs, barring some miracle. I think it's going to come down to LA and San Francisco down the stretch. But as far as the New York Mets go, the Mets are a born pure certified dumpster fire. At one point, the New York Mets had a 7-game lead in the National League East. Their record has gone downhill. It has been nothing but a total nightmare, and you're seeing why. The New York Mets have to get a sweep. They got to play almost 750 ball just to get back into this thing. Because right now, the New York Mets are down and out, and it is absolutely ridiculous what I've seen come out of New York. Everybody was saying, oh, the Mets are going to go to the playoffs and the Yankees are going to be going in the wrong direction. Boy, is that flip-flopped. The Yankees are now in the driver's seat, at least to get a wild card spot. And the Boston Red Sox, right now, they've had their struggles. And speaking of the playoff picture, I've got that all set out for you in stone at this moment. I'm not going to worry about division leaders because you know who the division leaders are. I'm not going to waste my time with that tonight. But I do want to talk about the wild card race a little bit more in depth. And to be honest with you, it is a miracle that some of these teams are still in this race. All right. In the American League, the New York Yankees have the first wild card spot. Since July 27th, the Yankees have played their best ball. They are 19-5 in that stretch. That is how the Yankees have managed to claw their way right back into the playoff race. The Oakland A's, they would be facing the Yankees if the wild card playoffs were to start tomorrow. Since July 29th, the Oakland A's have been 12-5. Keep that in mind. The Boston Red Sox now find themselves a half a game back. And since July 28th, the Boston Red Sox have a dismal record of 8-15. Something to keep in mind there going down the stretch. What has happened with the Boston Red Sox? The Red Sox at the All-Star break, they had a huge lead in the AL East. I had changed my mind and went with the Red Sox to take it to the division. But all of a sudden, the Red Sox have gone in the wrong direction. They got Chris Sale back. I figured that'd be a help. That hasn't helped much at all. The Red Sox hitting has been bad. The pitching, they've been having some struggles. And that's why I'm worried. Sander Bogarts was hitting over 300. J.D. Martinez, Rafael Devers. That's what's been going on in Boston. The Yankees have been playing their best. Aaron Judge has been hot. Luke Voigt, Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu. Those are the guys to watch out for in New York. They're hitting. They've been playing well, hitting well. The pitching has been getting much better. That's why the Yankees have gone 19-5 in that span. And as for the Oakland A's, they've had their struggles. Yes, I'm not going to deny it. I'll tell you what. If the Red Sox keep playing like this, they may get surpassed by a couple of other teams, like the Blue Jays and the Mariners. And you better watch out for that. Now, let's go over to the other side in the National League. In the National League, if the playoffs were to start today, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres would face off in the wild card game. Now, right now, the Dodgers find themselves 3 games back of the San Francisco Giants in the National League West. The San Diego Padres, since July 27th, have gone a dismal 9-12, and that includes 1-7 in the last 8 games. And the Cincinnati Reds, they're only 1 game back, people. Only 1 game back. They have gone 15-9 since July 26th. They played some of their best baseball. The Reds, don't sleep on them. Okay, they're 8 games back in the National League Central in the National League Central against the Milwaukee Brewers. But the Reds could steal a wild card spot the way they're playing now. And the St. Louis Cardinals, since July 27th, okay, they only have a 12-8 record. But they're 3.5 games back in the National League wild card race. They're in it too. They're in contention. All it takes is a very bad series with the Padres or the Reds, and the Cardinals could jump in and take it away. And that's what everybody needs to understand. And now, everybody's been wondering, what about the best record? The best record overall. As it stands right now, the best record in the American League belongs to the Tampa Bay Rays. They got an important series against the White Sox. That starts tonight. In the National League, it belongs to the San Francisco Giants in the National League and overall. And the Dodgers are only 3 games back of that in that race, so keep that in mind. And the Milwaukee Brewers are only 4.5 back in the battle for the National League best record and 4.5 back into the division in the National League and for overall. I'll tell you one thing. It's going to get crazy down the stretch in the wild card race. And it's going to get fun going forward. And I'll tell you what. You better be ready for a battle like no one's ever seen before. And the bottom line is this. It's going to be a battle all the way to the end. Now, here's the question. Who is ready to talk some football? I know I am. All right. I do want to give a special thank you to Sam Spence of NFL Films for providing with the music called Classic Battle. Now, I know it's the preseason, but I want to talk about it. The Cleveland Browns face the New York Giants this coming Sunday in another preseason game. The reason why I'm talking about the Browns is because I can see the Browns making some noise down the stretch this year. Now, last week in their first preseason game, the Browns had no problems against the Jacksonville Jaguars 23-13. Kyle Aluda went 19-27 for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. Case Keenum, a nice debut for him, 12-17 for 115 yards. But the Browns defense knew how to get it done. 4 sacks, 5 tackles for loss. That was big. And I'll tell you this, it's going to be fun going down the stretch in the NFL this year. The Browns look great. How would Baker Mayfield fare this year? I'll be really fair as well. I really do. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Browns may be the team to beat again. Could they possibly win the AFC North? I really hope they do. But it's going to be fun to see how the Browns do. And think about the Browns defense. They got the Trevor Lawrence of Jacksonville. He debuted. He got sacked twice. Now, as far as the New York Giants go, the Giants lost to the New York Jets last week, 12-7 in their first preseason game. Clayton Thorson, he went 5-16 for 72 yards, and he had a touchdown. He got sacked 4 times. Mike Glennon, he was only 3-7 for 20 yards. He got sacked once. The New York Giants have a lot of work to do. They really do. Can they improve? We'll have to wait and see on that. But I'll say this, though. After what I saw, the Giants may be in for some more struggles this season. Could Tom Coughlin leaving, has it hurt the Giants? I say yes. You're seeing the struggles now. Everybody knows it. But I'll say this. The Browns facing the Giants, I got to give the advantage to the Browns after what they did to Jacksonville last week. I know each week it changes. But we'll have to wait and see what happens down the stretch going forward. And the bottom line is this. I've seen the New York Jets give the Giants everything. And I'll be honest with you. It's going to be fun to watch to see what happens in the NFL. This is the final preseason game before the regular season gets underway. And we'll have to wait and see what happens. All right. Folks, I just want to let you know something right now. It is now time for a song break. We're going to give you guys a chance to get up and get down and get ready to boogie. So we're going to do a little song called Whoop There It Is by Tag Team. So enjoy the song, and I'll be back to talk about more sports in just a moment.
Party people! Yeah! Tag team music in full effect. That's me, DC. The brain supreme. And my man Steve Ronan. We're getting the flow. And it goes a little something like this. Tag team back again. Check it, direct it, let's begin. Party on, party people, let me hear some noise. DC's in the house, jump, jump, rejoice. There's a party over here, a party over there. Wave your hands in the air, shake the dairy. Yeah. These three words when you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is, hit me. Whoop, there it is. 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 Upside down and inside out. I'm about to show all you folks what it's all about. Now it's time for it to get on the mic and make this motherfucking party hot. I'm taking it back to the old school, cause I'm an old fool who's so cool. If you wanna get down, I'ma show you the way. Here it is, let me hear you say. Whoop, come on, y'all. Whoop, louder. Whoop, come on, y'all. Whoop, louder. Whoop, come on, y'all. Whoop, louder. Whoop, come on, y'all. Whoop, shaka, like a shaka, like a shaka, shaka, like a shaka, like a shaka, like a shaka, shaka, like a shaka, like a shaka, like a shaka, shaka, like a shaka, like a shaka, like a shaka. Point blank, gin and juice I drink and as I puff on dank, rock the mic. I crave skin rip, find a honey, get to dip it in, slam dunk it, stick it, flip it and ride that. Come on, whoop, there it is, I'm done. Come on, whoop, louder, whoop, get it to me, whoop, come on, get louder, whoop, come on, whoop, some say I'm crazy because I'm pushing up daisies. The underground sound that you have found amazing, outstanding, demanding, commanding you people dancing. That's a breath taker. I produce, aka The Undertaker. You want to come down to the underground old school? Here's a shovel. Can you dig it, fool? Can you dig it? Can y'all dig it? 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 W-H-O-O-F-D as I flow to the block from the school of old. Hardcore, keep the folklore wrecked. 3 to the 2 and 1 mic check. Mass skill flow bill on the mess of stick. That's the thrill of the microphone. I just kill. Party people, it's party tag team is through. Whoop, there it is. I thought you knew. Whoop, there it is. 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 Yeah, tag team music coming straight at ya. That's me, DC, the brain supreme, and my man Steve Ronan. Bring it back, y'all. Bring it back, y'all. Bring it back. Here we go. Whoop, there it is. 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 Whoop, there it is.
All right, everybody. Now that we got the song break out of the way, let's talk some college football. Now, I've already given you some of the matchups to watch out for this week. I'll talk about those a little bit more in depth here in the next couple of weeks or so. Now, ESPN has released the preseason college football All-American team. Now, go to ESPN.com. You can read the article about that. Go to their college football section, and you'll see the whole article. But I got a few players in mind that I do want to talk about, and you'll see what I mean. Now, I mentioned a quarterback, a running back, one wide receiver, one defensive end, 2 defensive tackles, and a safety. These players that I'm about to talk about is to give you an idea of why they've earned those honors. First, at the quarterback position, Spencer Rattler, Oklahoma. 28 touchdowns in 3,031 yards in his first season last year, and a 92.5 passing grade. He earned that honor in a big, big way. Yeah, 28 touchdowns and 3,000 passing yards. Would you want him on your team? I definitely would take him in a heartbeat. I wish Ohio State would have got him. Excuse my bias. But Radler is a fantastic quarterback. He's one of the best players out of the Big 12. And you're seeing why. Now, at the running back position, you'll find this one kind of interesting. Breece Hall, Iowa State. In 12 games, this kid has 1,572 rushing yards and 23 touchdowns. Would you want him on your team? I think I could see the Cyclones competing for the Big 12 crown this year because of it. Could they come out of nowhere and take it away? There's a lot of talk about that. I think they can do it. I really do. And you're seeing why. And the bottom line is this. It's going to be fun to watch what Breece Hall can do at running back. At wide receiver, Ohio State fans, this is where you get to cheer. Chris Olave out of Ohio State. Last year in 2020, he had 729 reception yards and 7 touchdowns. Now, I know the Buckeyes didn't play much last year. They didn't get to face the team up north because the team up north in Michigan, they decided to say, "We surrender. We surrender." It was all because of COVID-19. People know better than that. It wasn't because of COVID-19. It was because Harweenie was scared. I apologize, folks, but I do not like Michigan. I was raised to be a hater. I was raised, you're an Ohio State fan. Excuse that. Now, at defensive tackle, Keon Theodore, Oregon. And this is what's going to have Ohio State fans concerned. In Ohio State, you better pay attention to this. In 2 seasons at Oklahoma, Theodore has 71 tackles for loss, 47 solo, 26 assisted, and 12 sacks. And Ohio State's got to face Oregon in the second game of the season. Now, I know it's kind of odd that I mention this because I know we're talking about Ohio State, but I got to talk about Oregon because Ohio State-Oregon is the second game of the year. Should I be concerned? You better be concerned, Ohio State, because this kid is good. Keon Theodore, give him some love on the defensive end. He's a sack machine. Not a snack machine, but a sack machine. Huge difference. At defensive tackle, Jordan Davis. He's the run stopper at the University of Georgia. In 3 seasons, he has 59 tackles for loss, 20 solo, 39 assisted. Georgia head coach Kirby Smart was a smart man by taking this kid. He really was. He was a genius. Kirby Smart, my hat's off to you. The other defensive tackle I want to talk about is at Clemson. Brian Breeze. In 2020, another nose guard guy and another run stopper. He has 23 tackles for loss, 13 solo, 10 assisted, 4 sacks. And that was just last year. This kid is good. Don't sleep on Clemson on defense this year. And at safety, Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. In 2 years, he's had 104 tackles for loss, 78 solo, 26 assisted. He has 5 interceptions. One of those was a pick 6. Keep that in mind. Notre Dame is back to being an independent this year instead of playing an ACC schedule, which for them may be a good thing. Because, and you know what? I wish Notre Dame would have stayed in the ACC. I would have loved to see them face Clemson one more time. I haven't forgot about last year when Notre Dame upset Clemson in Notre Dame Stadium and the crowd was coming out of their minds. They didn't care about social distancing that night. Those are just a few of the players that I wanted to talk about tonight. Those are just a handful of the players. Go to ESPN.com, Read the whole article. You'll see who's who and who made the All-American team. This was just a few that I wanted to talk about tonight that deserved my attention. All right. Who is ready to talk some more motor racing? Now, last Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series was on the road course at Indianapolis. It got some mixed reviews. Some of the drivers liked it. Some of the drivers hated it because the curbs were coming up. Last Sunday, with about 5 laps to go, the curb came up at about turn 6. It caused William Byron, Kyle Busch, and a number of other cars to find the tire barrier. Joey Logano hit the tires hard, and thankfully he got out of the car to tell the tale. Some of the drivers liked it. I know A.J. Allmendinger, when he came home the winner and he made the chase, he was like, "Oh, I love this track." The guys like Kevin Harvick, who are struggling right now, oh, you got to be kidding me. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, I can tell you that. So there were some mixed reviews from the IndyCar race, from the NASCAR Cup race on the Indianapolis road course. A lot of the drivers want the Brickyard 400 back. So we'll have to wait and see what happens for next year. Next Sunday, the Indy cars are going to be a Gateway Raceway out in Illinois. Will Power won the IndyCar race last Sunday at Indianapolis on the road course. He was happy to get his first win of the season because right now he's about 9th or 10th in the points. So a win for him was a big pick-me-up, and I'll say this. It was great to see Will Power come home the winner last Saturday, I should say, at Indianapolis. Now, the NASCAR Cup race will be at 1 o'clock Sunday on NBCSN. And the Indy cars, the Indy cars I think will race on Saturday night or on Sunday afternoon. I don't know which one. I'll have the time and schedule for you on my Facebook page. I promise you that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my closing thoughts on this night. The college football season is well upon us. Can Ohio State get back to the national championship game and win it under Ryan Day? I would love to see that happen, honestly. But could we see a team come out of the pack and take it away? There's been a lot of talk about that. There's been a lot of people are saying Oklahoma could take it away. There's people like Alabama. Oklahoma, two of the odds-on favorites. Clemson. They're always in the discussion every year. But Ohio State always seems like to be a dark horse to take it away. Could it happen again? We don't know. But as the 2021 college football season gets underway, it's going to be fun to watch. And I'll tell you what, this year in college football, I promise you the season is going to be well worth the partying, and it's going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be fun. Friday night, September 3rd. Actually, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a special show on Friday night, September 3rd at 12 noon to get you ready for the opening weekend of the college football season. Now, I know Ohio State faces Minnesota on Thursday night. I will have a complete wrap-up of that game on Friday during my kickoff show. As we get ready to open the season, I've been thinking about how I could close the show today. So, I'm going to close it out with 2 songs courtesy of the Ohio State University Marching Band. The first one is going to be the Buckeye Battle Cry, and the other one is going to be Hang On Sloopy. And you better believe the Buckeyes may be hanging on for the entire season. All right, everybody. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in tonight. You guys have a great weekend. I will be back Sunday night at 11:30 with the Scott Manning YouTube Sports Weekend Wrap-Up Show. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for being with me here on this night. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for being with me, and God bless. Good night, everybody, and I thank you.